March when we attended MPA back in the month of March. And these were one of the few groups that went as a 7th grade only band. A lot of bands may mix their 7th and 8th graders or just takes 8th graders only. So very few bands take just their 7th graders. And we performed for 3 judges on stage and a sight reading judge where they hadn't seen any of the music, including myself, before that event. And every judge gave them a superior. So a round of applause to these for getting the highest rating. And it takes a team. We talk about a lot that we're a team and work together, and while it may take individual practice, putting it all together is what makes the band. So as we continue, our next selection really explores their softer musicianship, which is almost a little harder. We like loud and fast in middle school. I mean, imagine that. But so the softer side is not always as easy to pull out of them. But this is a piece called Morning Mist, and the composer was trying to depict a misty morning, the soft and the quiet of that misty morning. So here is Morning Mist. While we're switching out some seats and a lot of equipment in the back, I thought I'd take a second to recognize some students that you'll see perform in a moment. The jazz band is comprised of 7th and 8th graders that have auditioned for those spots and volunteered and regularly attend at 7:15 a.m. 3 days a week. So that's a big accomplishment for a middle schooler, and thank you for getting them here if you're a parent of one of those. So I wanted to ask the 7th graders that are in jazz band to go ahead and stand at this time to be recognized. Congratulations. Thank you. And then also we had some students in 7th grade who did Carteret County Honors Band. where we put them together with 7th and 8th graders around the county, had a director come in from Texas that they'd never met before, and in a day and a half they did a phenomenal job on a concert. So if those students would stand also, the Carteret County Honors Band participants. All right, and you may be seated. Our next piece has a story, and the kids were wondering, can we make sure they all know the story? And I said, absolutely. So here's the story. The piece is called Terminal Velocity. What we've learned, and I learned along with them, is that that is something similar to what a skydiver, pilots know about terminal velocity, astronauts, that type of thing. It's something that I can't imagine jumping out of a perfectly fine airplane and doing skydiving. But this is something that the composer used as the impulse of their writing. So here it is, a true story. 2 guys, daredevils, wanted to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. So they went to the Burj Khalifa. It makes me giggle every time. The Burj Khalifa Tower in Dubai, 163 floors high, 2,700 feet high, and the music follows them as they ascend in the elevator all the way up to the top. It gives musically an impression of the skyline once they're finally at the top, what that skyline looks like, and a big moment of like awe. And then it moves into the actual where they're at the ledge, and then when they jump out of a perfectly good building and fall to the ground. But they do, and just so you know, they do survive. They do earn their spot in the Guinness Book of World Records. But you should be able to follow that storyline as we play Terminal Velocity. Your students tonight all received on stage a yellow piece of paper with an application for Jammin' in the Sun. And your 7th graders have now progressed to the point where they're, in my mind, 8th graders. So they're at the point where they're the leaders of the future in band, both here in the county and at Broad Creek. So I hope that you'll consider possibly giving them a middle of the summer kind of boost, and maybe consider going to Jammin' in the Sun. I want to introduce someone that the students have become well aware of, but we have had the privilege of hosting a East Carolina University clinical intern, which basically is a student that's pursuing a degree in music education and is doing their student teaching, what we used to call it, student teaching. And Miss Jordan Harris graduated a few weeks ago, and she is here to conduct a few things tonight. So we're going to invite her to the stage to finish out the 7th grade with Dynamite.